All right. This recording is entitled, That's Right, We Bad. We Bad. Now, what am I talking about? Okay, a little bit of context. So, in the previous recording, we talked about Chizzy and the spat communities centered around high schools. Um, and, you know, the counter argument to that whole direct approach of just getting right to the heart of the poly crisis for those who want to hear about it, and right to the heart of Chizzy for those who are interested. And we share this invitation with the world, and we get right to the heart of the matter of both Polycrisis and Chizzy for those who are interested. For those who aren't interested, we're not here ringing your doorbells on a Sunday trying to get you to join our religion. No, that's not what we're doing. But for those who are interested, join us. And that's when we strap in and we let loose on the world what we're doing. And that's where being badass is important. That's right, we bad. That's right, we badass. We be badass on implementation. That's where you bring in Darth Vegan with the music, the art, the comedy, and it's like, okay, now we've got a leader leading, and Darth Vegan is a whole team, right? There's one person in the suit or other. There might ultimately be several if we're doing parallel events in, say, 100 cities on a given Friday. Well, we need 100 Darths. So, you know. But anyway, Darth Vegan, I'm just saying it's a whole movement and it's all the people doing logistical support and everything. Um, and we've got those recorded on a previous block party, I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm just going to point to that in the description, uh, and I'll have a timestamp. So you can see exactly when we talk about the Darth Vegan stuff, which is pretty cool, and the whole story and all that. So that's badass. So what do we got? We're taking on the poly crisis. That's badass in and of itself. We're doing it with Chizzy. That's badass. Um, And one of our two biggest things that we talk about are food healers, which encompasses a whole bunch of things. Feeding plant-based foods for everyone is the headline, but there's a lot more behind it, obviously. So between food healers, which is a whole loaded, benevolent plant-based Trojan horse in and of itself. Trojan horse is a good metaphor here. That's part of being badass. We blast into your mind, right? We pop the cherry of your imagination, of your mind. We blast in. Trojans ablazing, right? So there's like a whole herd of Trojan horses here, you know. One just for the polycrisis side, one for the Chizzy side, one for the cooling the planet side, one for the food healers side, one for the ending war side. The unification of humanity, of which Kindred Spirits Ireland is a subset, for example. All these are just this is just a stampede of Trojan horses. And when we blast into your mind, all these Trojan horses are coming in. The analogy is we blast into your mind, the gates of the castle fling open, right? And in comes the whole stampede of Trojan horses. That's badass in and of itself. The chutzpah of this whole thing is badass. There ain't one part of this that's not badass, as you'll see when you look at the links below. And with that, I say we wrap up this video. We don't need to overdo it. Okay, ending recording.